Hello, everyone. Automation is one of the key areas in today's IT infrastructure, and one of the commonly used tools today is actually Ansible. So, Ansible obviously requires a proper expert, and today with me I have Jacek Skórzyński from Red Hat, so Senior Solution Architect. Jacek, if you could introduce yourself a bit.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Jacek Skórzyński, and I'm a solution architect at Red Hat, responsible for the infrastructure part of the portfolio, mainly specialized in the automation. My hobby, as you can see, mostly bicycle, but also volleyball, player, and a fan in general, I would say. Your turn.
And my name is Marcin Kubacki. I'm Chief Software Architect at Storware. My background is mostly virtualization and in general IT infrastructure. So automation is obviously another area that I'm really interested in. So Ansible Automation Platform version 2. So what's new, but not only, it's going to be a technical webinar today. If you could just briefly describe the changes in the recent release.
All right. So we already talked about collections, about different things which had happened in a previous time, and those changes right now are I would like to refer to. So I'd like to remind you that what we were talking about last time, this in general about the split between content and engine itself. So in 2.9, which you mostly Red Hatters are still using at that time till now, because this is the GA one, the most the supported one. Right now we are just about to switch to the new word. So in community, you're already there for quite some time. But at Red Hat, we're gonna switch soon, in a week, I hope, or maybe two. We should have a new version of Automation Platform number 2, which will be based on engine or core or Ansible base. There are different names for the same, basically. Ansible version 2.11. And main thing here is the split between engine and the content. By content, what I mean are modules, plugins, roles, playbooks, that kind of things.
Okay, so how these are bound together?
Yeah, so with previous versions, 2.9 and previously, we've got everything packaged like in a one package, in one RPM. So basically, when you did a yum install or DNF install of Ansible, then you got everything, engine and the content in one package. Right now, it's gonna. I mean, it is already different in community, as you heard. With version 2.11, which we're gonna base on, we're gonna have we're gonna get an engine with some small comparable to the REST ecosystem amount of modules and plugins. It's going to be like 300 something, and the content will come from the different sources. So that's basically it. Why we did that? Just to be more agile, I would say, into the in this project, because the project was really big regarding the engine itself, but also regarding the content. And right now, all the content developers, all the authors of the plugins, modules for Ansible, right now they are free to go. They can do it or develop it in their own schedule.
Okay, so, well, Ansible Automation Platform at least feels like something very complex, not just Ansible. So it seems like something has changed. If you could just briefly describe what this platform is.
Yep. Okay. So it's a good question, because Ansible Automation Platform, we used to, I mean, we remember that it was just an engine and tower previously, like 2 years ago, or maybe a year and a half. Right now, it's, as you said, a set of tools in different areas. And of course, there is an engine. Of course, there is a tower, which is going to be soon renamed to Ansible Controller. But it's not going to be just renaming, but also an architecture change. So a lot of changes are going underneath. But it's not only those two. There is Automation Hub, which we're gonna elaborate about today a little bit more. There is also a certified content, which is also provided inside the Automation platform or as part of Automation platform. There are also different tools in community or in a developer space, I would say, and we're gonna concentrate on them today. So Ansible Builder, Ansible Navigator, Ansible Automation Platform Self-Service, which is the portal for non-technical people who would like to access their self-service and request for some tool or service or application, which will be then triggered and deployed via automation, via Ansible Automation. Then there is also an analytics here bundled, Red Hat Insights. We are not going to talk about this today, but because there are a lot of things to cover, we're going to concentrate on Builder and Navigator.
Okay, so Automation Hub, I believe I heard that some time ago. So if you could briefly remind us what it is.
So Automation Hub is actually a platform for you to get a certified content. We've got actually this one is the online one, which we present here in console.redhat.com. You can get there. You will be able to reach them. Of course, the subscribers for Ansible Automation, and you can find a lot of great content, which all of them are certified and supported. This is very important. And most of them are coming from our certified partners. So Red Hat is also contributing there, but we are not the only ones. And as you can see, there are like a vast majority of the content comes from our partners. And this is the really big
so if I understood
advantage.
correctly, it's not just Galaxy. You have a separate source for coming from partners, so additional content on top of that you can get for free from the Galaxy, right?
Yeah, the Galaxy is the upstream, I would say, for the Automation Hub and also for the content. So if you are thinking about searching for the really new stuff, then go to the Galaxy, and you probably will find the equivalent or actually or partially the same content at Galaxy. But of course, in a Galaxy, it's not going to be supported. It's just a pure community. Here you've got a certified and supported one.
Okay, and you've said something about the on-prem version. Which is, so how does it work?
Yep. So I said on the previous slide, I showed you the online one, where you've got actually the access to the content, and it's located in Red Hat Cloud. Let's say that. But you are also able to create your own Automation Hub, your private one. So you can deploy the machine or container, whatever, how you would like to put it, and you are able to have your Automation Hub inside your organization, so on-prem version. Then you can synchronize different content there. So you can synchronize the content from Automation Hub online, but you can also synchronize the content from Galaxy, for example. Or maybe you would like to create your own collection, which is also possible. Then you can create and put your custom collections there, which actually gives you the full control over the content for Ansible you're going to use inside your organization. So that's basically it.
Okay, so now I'm really curious also about these execution environments, because this seems, well, maybe let's start with a simple question. What are they?
Okay, so I hope all of you knows the Python virtual environments. So we use it heavily. I mean, still using that together with Ansible Engine, Ansible Core, Ansible Base, three the same names for the same thing. So this is the equivalent for Python VMs. Why? Because it's portable, because it's container, basically.
Yeah, basically that's why you're using containers.
Yeah. And inside, you're gonna have more or less the same as you used to with Python VMs. So Ansible core version. So all the Python dependencies you would like to add to it. And also there is also possibility to build your execution environment together with collections you would like to distribute with inside it. So imagine if you have like a different use cases for automation in your organization, and you would like to, let's say, automate your virtual platforms, you would like to automate your Windows boxes, you would like to automate your network devices. So you can provide for each and every use case different execution environment. So then you have like a full control over the content, over the modules, plugins you've got inside your execution environment, not necessarily having everything, I mean, one for everything, yes, one for with all bunch of different modules and plugins. You can have a specialized execution environment.
Yeah, actually, I had that once or twice. That's actually, well, even different version of Python could mess up things significantly on the controller. So now I understand that I'm able to build a container and invoke my playbooks within this container so that it is always going to be executed. I understand also that once I have built such container, I can also grab it and use it on my local workstation, right? So that it is portable in that case.
Exactly.
Okay, so if you could maybe go into details how it's inside.
So basically, we at Red Hat, of course, within the automation platform, we build our execution environments on RHEL UBI, so Universal Base Images, which are, by the way, accessed. You can download them for free from Red Hat. Then we need to put some specific Python version, of course. Then we need to put some Ansible core version, and then there is also a space for collections. So as I said previously, you can set or specify basically the collections you would like to have inside such a execution environment, and I'm gonna show you today how to do it live during my demo session.
Okay, so now we usually build containers. So if you could describe how to build such environments for Ansible.
So as it is with Ansible, we try to make it as automated
as possible.
Yeah. Of course, we've got for that proper Ansible Builder. This is the name of the tool. This tool allows you to build your own execution environments. You can choose if you would like to use Podman or Docker for that. You can choose different requirements like dependencies for Python, for your collections from a collection perspective, and so on. And this is, I'm going to show you this today, so I will go a little bit deeper into each and every option, for maybe not an every, but at least a few of them I will mention today and show you how to actually create your own Ansible execution environment.
Perfect. So now another tool that I found on your let's say main slide describing what the platform is actually was the Ansible Navigator, and this one seems pretty new to me. So if you could describe maybe what is it?
So basically, it's an I would say an equivalent to Ansible -playbook command, and more, of course.
Okay.
Why we introduce a new tool then?
To invoke a playbook?
Yeah.
Okay.
And mainly because of execution environments. Ansible -playbook knows only an locally installed Ansible, so or in a Python VM, but it has no ability to reach a container and invoke Ansible there.
So it talks also to some sort of central hub that it would be able to understand that this playbook should be invoked in a particular execution environment.
Yep, exactly. And it has actually a lot more abilities to dig into each of the execution environment, look at the Ansible engine version, at the different collections, what kind of collections you've got inside your execution environments, and many more, and Python dependencies. So you are able to actually manage your execution environments with Ansible Navigator, and also
invoke the
finally
playbook.
invoke a playbook.
Playbook on your controllers. Okay, so that clarifies a lot. So now I guess we should see some demos. So if you could briefly describe what we are going to see today.
So I'm gonna show you those two tools, Ansible Navigator, Ansible Builder, and then again Ansible Navigator.
To make it more complex, yeah?
To make it more complex. And we're gonna concentrate today only on the, let's say, developer side. So I'm not gonna talk about controller and automation hub too much. I'm gonna show you what we're gonna grab from it and how to basically connect those two words. So Ansible Builder, Ansible Navigator, and the Automation Hub, because sometimes you need to grab a collections from somewhere, and the somewhere should be at the very first Ansible Automation Hub. So basically we're gonna build our execution environment, and then we're gonna see what actually Ansible Navigator can do with it. So that's basically it. So let me switch to my Windows. Not a Windows machine, of course. This is my Ansible host. I hope you can see it well. So first of all, I would like to show you the Ansible Navigator, which I already installed here. So I'm not gonna.
So it's not that you install just platform with a single, maybe not RPM, but there is no single installer for the platform. It's like a
there is.
There is.
There is. Yeah.
There is. Okay. So you have installed the platform, or you have installed just the Navigator?
I installed just the Navigator and Builder. I did not install the full platform, but it is pretty straightforward. You just need to grab the installer, fill in some inventory file, say setup, and that's it. And the Ansible, of course,
Ansible will deploy Ansible platform.
Yeah, exactly. But today I just want to concentrate on two tools. So I did not install Automation Platform. I just installed two separate tools, Navigator and Builder, and that's it.
Okay.
So Ansible Navigator. Navigator is actually by default a TUI tool. So this is this text user interface, this command line, interactive command line, something like that. And as I said previously, and I would like to mention this again, this is regarding this changes regarding the execution environments and the need to be able to get to know what kind of collections we've got in each of them, what kind of execution environments we've got in our Ansible landscape, like here on my rel node. So let's have a look. Let's type images, and let's see what kind of images I've got. So basically, I've got like 3-4 of them, and the one is primary, this number one. So I've got this execution environments here, and I can get into each of them. So I can say, let's see what's in primary. So I typed 1. Then I can see if I type 2, the version of the Ansible engine, Ansible core. Hopefully it will work, as this is, you can see this is a live one, and I did not record that. So as you can see, we're gonna use a core version 2.11, and here you've got a different collections inside. So if we would like to go into each of them, let's say number 14. So no, sorry, not this way. So let's say we would like to inspect what kind of what we've got inside each of the collection. So let's say this one here, we've got an insights collection. Here we can see that we've got 2 modules and 1 inventory plugin. We can go into each of them and see basically the Ansible documentation.
Okay, but these collections, whatever these are, all remotely on some remote host, like the remote controller, or this is just currently your local
in my local execution environment.
So technically speaking, at this point, Navigator just talks to your local inventory,
exactly.
but I can somehow configure it to talk to your local.
Yeah, when we're gonna build it, when we're gonna build an execution environment, we're gonna enforce it to grab some collections from outside, from Automation Hub directly. So then it will build a container image with your Ansible version with all the Python dependencies and all the.
Okay, but I still imagine
collections.
that I use somehow Navigator as the developer locally on my workstation. But inside the company, I will have a controller that has multiple runtime environments, like these execution environments for my playbooks. So I need somehow to point Navigator to this remote controller. Or
you are not gonna do that. Actually, you're gonna just share your execution environment with the controller. So basically, you need to push your container image to your container registry, basically. And then if you have a properly configured controller, then the controller will be able to grab it, to fetch it, and to use it. So imagine how many different problems we overcome with this concept. Because normally, if you do it with the, let's say, old-fashioned way with Python VMs, you need to recreate on each of the controller your exact Python VM virtual environment, and it was
problematic.
Yeah, problematic. Very good word. But here is just grab the proper container with the proper version, and that's it, and you are able to do exactly the same config. Of course, I don't want to say that you should every time include every single collection in your image. Of course not. You can do that basically, but you don't need to do that every time, because as it is with Ansible, as usual, you can do various different things going through the different paths. So the same solution achieved with different paths. So basically, you can also on the playbook level say that you would like to use a different collection or different version of the collection, and then what's in inside execution environment, then it will be skipped, and then the collection from the playbook will be taken. But let's not mess up too much, and let's concentrate.
Let's continue.
Yeah, let's continue. So as you can see, you can use Navigator to basically inspect what kind of execution environments you've got, what kind of collections you've got in here, and also ability to check your documentation on each and every content. So let me go back to images, and let's go to this one. We can highlight also packages. So here you will find all the Python packages. If I type correctly, I don't know why this is so. Yeah, so this one is actually needed for each and every collection you have inside your execution environment, or maybe the outside collection you're gonna use inside your playbook. So basically, when you interact with different platforms like Azure, like AWS, or others, you normally need some Python packages, Python dependencies for that to be able to reach or to actually call the API of it. So that's basically it. If you would like to go into image, then here you've got everything about it. I'm basically I'm based on the right now on the community version. That's why you don't see rel underneath, rather than you can see CentOS. But from the execution environments coming from Red Hat Automation Platform will be also, of course, built on UBI, which is rel. And one more thing about this, at Red Hat, we already provide you within the automation platform like 4 different execution environments for you. One is the execution environment, which contain all the certified and supported content from Hub, and also the newest version of Ansible engine. The other one is just execution environments which has only Ansible installed, just to be able to use as a base image for your custom, let's say, execution environments. And we also have the one which is based on version 2.9, which is actually needed for the backward compatibility with the previous version, with the version of Ansible engine 2.9. So that's what we can see here from the, I mean, this is just a iceberg peak, of course. I did not touch too many, but I really encourage you to familiarize yourself with Ansible Navigator from today.
Inventories are separate from the execution environments, right?
Inventories, yeah.
But still are separate. You don't bind them together.
No.
Okay.
Those are separate things. Okay, so we've got Ansible Navigator, and now let me switch to Builder.
Maybe one more question.
Okay.
So imagine that I have, because Ansible provides dynamic inventories, and in order to have them, you actually need some Python libraries, or let's say connectors, like to AWS, for instance. So how do you approach this part?
You're going to use built-in plugins. So then your plugin, which is on the inside the execution environment, most of the time, of course, will connect to the platform. Yeah? So use all the Python dependencies which are inside execution environment, and then give you back the list of your endpoints in memory most of the time.
Okay.
That's how it works. But if you rely on your let's say static environments, inventories, then of course they are not binded inside the execution environment.
Okay.
So let's talk about Builder. So the Builder is a tool, as I said, to provide, to produce, to enables you to create your own execution environments, and we're gonna create that one today. So let me just show you what we've got in here. So the main one is this execution environment YAML. Let me show you what's inside. So we've got some versioning, of course. We can specify which Ansible base image, this execution environment base image, will be taken, and from where. Of course, here I'm using this KIO, which is the Red Hat container registry, and I'm going to use the one which already holds the 2.11 version of Ansible engine. Then I've got also my Ansible config here, but let me skip for a while and I will show you this later on why I need that. Then I've got some dependencies. And what I stick to here, I would like to just add dependencies for regarding some collection. So I would like to insert a specific collection into this base execution environment. I just skipped all the Python things and all the different Linux distribution things, which may or may not be needed by your use case. Then we've got some additional steps on the building process to update pip setup tools and things like that. So pretty easy stuff.
Okay, question.
Yep.
Why there is a pipe sign after prepend and you have a list after append? What's the difference? It should be, they should look similar.
Yeah. That's a really good question, which I don't know right now.
Yeah, finally.
Finally, I will come back to
Okay.
with the answer later on. I
Let's
don't know really.
continue.
I did not even check that. Yep. Right. So we're gonna concentrate today on the requirement file, which has already the dependencies for the collections. So let me show you. I've got, of course, this this file. So here we are, and we've got the collections, and we are pointing this to the collection Red Hat something something download. And this collection is actually not on the Galaxy. This collection is gonna be fetched, downloaded from the Automation Hub. And as I said, to get to the Automation Hub and to be able to grab something from it, you need to have a valid subscription. So it's not widely open for everyone like Galaxy is, but you need something to basically to establish a connection like credentials. Yeah, so token.
And Navigator is available also to the users without the subscription in general?
Yeah.
Okay, so this automatically is going to just go to Galaxy only.
Of course, yes.
In that case. And now the other thing, I have built my image. Now I know that there were some updates, obviously. So how I'm going to update it in the future? I will just have to rebuild the
You're going to
image
build a new version of the image with the new version
with
of
the
collection.
latest,
Yeah, the latest
obviously,
collection.
requirements,
Yep,
right? In this
yep.
case,
Because here I've got really simple example. I just have a one item list.
And this one probably reflects the latest
to
version.
the latest, yes. But
Yes.
I can also specify the version, the exact version I would like to grab. So if I don't want to play with the latest one, I can specify here in the requirements YAML also a version and the number of the version, and then this will grab the proper version for me.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is the collection, and let me show you where the collection actually is. So here we are, and this is my Automation Hub online. As you can see, there are like 106 different collections. So it's a really good set of tools you can use here regarding your automation use cases. Let me filter it, and I've got my collection here. So this is my collection, this Red Hat as a namespace. So I can do it this way, and if I go this way, just from the partner perspective, I've got my Red Hat namespace, and I've got all my collections, and one of them is this Red Hat CSP download. So this is the module and role to grab something from the Red Hat customer portal, and I can basically reach it with this Ansible Galaxy collection install. But if I'm on the community side, or even I would like to directly grab it from the command line, basically, I need to have some token to generate a token to be able to authenticate into the Automation Hub. With Galaxy, of course, you don't need to do that because it's wide open. So then I need to connect to Hub, then I will generate a token and put it somewhere, and I will show you where this somewhere is. So to make it work, basically, I need to do it on my Ansible CFG site. So .ansible.cfg.demo. I prepared that one. So basically, this is a list of your Galaxy servers. You can specify, of course, more. For today, I specified just Automation Hub. But you can have also a pure Galaxy here. And then you specify, of course, URL, out URL, and then your token, which I don't show today for you from the obvious reasons. All right, so let's have a look once again at the execution environment config file. Then this Ansible config just points me to the proper Ansible configuration file, which will also have this, let's say, Galaxy pointers. Okay? So Automation Hub pointers in here. All right. So let's build it. Prepared the proper command just to avoid typos. Before I start it, I would like to add some comments. Of course, there are more than those options I paste here, like tag, like container runtime. If we just skip it, by default, it's going to be a podman, but you can also specify an Docker one. There are also different others, because by default, if I'm in the directory like here, Ansible Builder, and I've got this execution environment.yaml, so I don't need to specify the config file because it will be by default. If I've got like a different config files, then I can of course change the name and just specify from where it should look for the proper configuration file. So let's build it. It will take some time, maybe not too long, I hope, because I already downloaded the base image, so it should be faster than at the very beginning. But my goal is to show you that I will build my base execution environment with the proper collection inside. So then, basically it is. So to see it, I can do just podman list. And I can see that right now I've got a new OVP first execution environment. And if I go to Ansible Navigator, and I do the inspection of my images, you will see our new OVP first execution environment. So this is the latest one we've just created just 33 seconds ago. We can go into it. We can inspect actually all the different collections we've got inside. And it should be just one, which we just fetched from the Automation Hub. Of course, this is just an Automation Hub, but you can have like multiple different sources, and you can grab something from Automation Hub directly, something from Galaxy. Then we are based on the newest version of Ansible Core, which is 2.11. So having that and having that kind of equipment, you are really ready to continue basically your automation journey with Ansible in this new changed world. In a community, as I said, it was for quite some time, but at Red Hat we are just about to switch to 2.11 and to do new version of Ansible engine and this new concept of developing content and also our Ansible playbooks.
Okay, so now I have Builder and Navigator that community also can run.
Yep.
Do I have some repository of playbooks similar to Tower for the community?
So the Tower is not the repository of playbooks, but of course, as everything at Red Hat, we are based on the open source projects. So for the Tower, actually, it's going to be a former name. So I prefer to use a controller name for that.
Controller.
Yeah. So for the controller, of course, the AWX still is the upstream community
AWX.
Project. AWX, yes.
Okay.
This is the one. There are some differences, of course, because the AWX is the, let's say, I would say the project, of course, so the playground for the new features, new things which are coming into it, and then are grabbed to the
so like CentOS for the RHEL.
Yeah. Now yes, now it's correct, because previously it was.
Previously it was not. Yeah.
Now it's correct. To be 100% specific, it's CentOS streams to RHEL. Yeah. So exactly it. And if you're gonna stick to just those two tools, you are then able to recreate very easily your automation, even in the enterprise environment with controller, because you've got your execution environment, you've got everything what you need from the Ansible playbook execution perspective. So you can just push it to the registry, container registry, which Automation Hub is also the one, and you can also host your execution environments there. And then Ansible controller will just grab it and use it against your playbooks. That's pretty easy.
Pretty easy. Okay, so I believe that was the end of the demo, right?
Yes.
So now let's go to the Q&A session. And currently I have one, so I really encourage you to post your questions here in the chat or in the questions tab. And I have one already. Could you please share the steps for installation of Navigator and Builder?
So basically, if you follow the community, which I did today, it's just a pip install Ansible-Builder, Ansible-Navigator.
So you just install with pip, and that's pretty much it.
If you're gonna use the fully supported way, so the automation platform, it's gonna be there by default. When you install automation platform, then you've got Ansible Builder and Ansible Navigator packaged into the.
So the Ansible Automation Platform installer will install all of these command line tools, as well as the tower inside?
As the controller. Of course, depends on the configuration you choose, because you can choose by default, and the minimum is just a controller on a single node. Maybe it's not by default, but minimum. And in the enterprise solutions, when you deal with HA and stuff like that, you normally need like 3 nodes for controller, then some database backend, and also some maybe isolated nodes, which now is going to be renamed to Automation Mesh again. So, I mean, not again, but again renamed. But it also is, this is also not only a name change, but a lot of changes underneath in the code. And then you can also use your private automation hub. So you can install it via the same installer in a one shot, basically, but you need to configure your inventory. You need to tell the installer what you want to do, what you want to achieve after all. But basically, bare minimum is just a controller on one node, one single node. So if you would like to just try it, of course, the evaluation subscription is waiting for you, and you can do that on your own. The installation is like a straightforward with Ansible, of course.
With Ansible, of course. So I believe that's everything for today. I really encourage you to follow us on the obviously openvirtualization.pro portal, but also we are available on the Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. This video is also going to be published later on the YouTube, and stay tuned for the other webinars.